Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. Members, get seated. Order, Deputy Majority. Please be seated. Yes, Clerk, you may read the items on the order paper.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motions. Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, motion.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. That pursuant to the Standing Order 198-2, this County Assembly resolves to adopt the County Public Investment and Accounts Committee report on the report of the Auditor General on the Bomet car loan and mortgage scheme fund for the year ended 30th June 2022. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the mandate of the County Public Investment and Accounts Committee, and on behalf of the members of the committee, I beg to present the report of the committee on the issues raised in the report of the Auditor General on the Bomet County car loan and mortgage fund for the period ended 30th June 2022. The auditor objective was to ascertain whether the Bomet County car loan and mortgage fund was administered as per the provision of the Public Finance Management Act and the fund regulation. The auditor covered the Bomet County car loan and mortgage fund expenditure for the period commencing 1st July 2021 to 30th June 2022. Upon concluding the audit, the Auditor General prepared a report touching on the following areas. 1, a report on the financial statements. 2, report on the lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of the public resources. 3, report on the effectiveness of internal control, risk management, and governance. Mr. Speaker, establishment of the committee, which, Mr. Speaker, as per the standing orders, all the members know the establishment of the committee, and I move straight away, Mr. Speaker, to the committee ownership so that the honorable members can know who went through this report from the auditor. We honorable members of the County Public Investment and Accounts Committee do hereby append our signatures to this report to affirm and to affirm our approval and confirm its accuracy, validity, and authenticity. 1, the Chair, Honorable Charles Langat. Vice Chair, Honorable Kiplangat Dennis. Member, Honorable Leonard Rotich. Honorable Olivia Koskei. Honorable Caroline Chipkimoy, who is also a member. Honorable Dennis Pushiene, member. And I, Honorable Richard Ruto, member. Mr. Speaker, the committee report on the issues raised by the Auditor General for the financial year 2021-2022. Because the honourable members have in their gadgets, I'll move direct to the issues raised by the Auditor General and the committee recommendations so that I cannot take my time, because I know honourable members are very tired because of very tight schedule they had in the morning. Mr. Speaker, response, observation, and recommendation on issues raised in the report. Receivable from exchange transaction. And as per the committee observation, Mr. Speaker, the committee observes as follows. The fund management provider retail loan is scheduled for the year ending 30th June 2022, which is contained in Annex 1 as per the report. The CCM could not provide the committee with the reasons as to why the schedule was not provided as part of the audit documentation. And 3, the committee marked the matters as resolved. Committee recommendation. The committee recommends that the CCM in charge of finance must always ensure that all the necessary documentation and information are provided during the audit. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, failure to prepare separate financial statement for car and mortgage funds. And I'll read also the committee observation and recommendation, Mr. Speaker. The committee has observed as follows. 1, the revised financial statement containing the consolidated financial statement for both car and mortgage fund were provided as Annex 2. Mr. Speaker, the second one was the information contained in Annex 2 is the evidence indicating the variances raised by the Auditor General has been addressed. The committee marked the matter resolved. Committee recommendation. The committee recommends that the CCM in charge of finance must always ensure that reconciliation are done on time and the complete listing financial statements are submitted to the Auditor General within 3 months after the close of the financial year as provided for under Section 164(4) of the Public Finance Management Act 2022. The third observation, Mr. Speaker, or the third issue raised by the Auditor, Mr. Speaker, was joint registration of motor vehicle. And straight away also, Mr. Speaker, I'll just go to the committee observation because honourable members still have in their gadgets the report. The committee observed as follows. 1, the management contravened Regulation 19.2 of the Bomet County States and Public Officer Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund Regulation 2023, which states that the logbook of a vehicle subject to a loan from the fund shall be issued jointly between the county government of Bomet and the member of the scheme. It is evidence that the management issued the fund to the beneficiary prior to the fulfillment of the requirement of the aforementioned regulation. Number 2, logbook confirming the joint registration of the member and the county has been provided as per the evidence provided in Annex 3. Currently, all motor vehicles acquired under the Bomet County Car Loan and Mortgages Scheme are jointly registered. The committee marked the matter resolved. Committee recommendation. The committee recommends that the County Executive Committee member, CCM, responsible for finance, along with the Car Loan and Mortgage Committee, should fully adhere to the provision outlined in the Public Finance Management Act the Bomet County States and Public Officer Kalon and Mokai Regulation of 2023 and Circular Reference Number SRC/ADM/CR/1/13 Volume 3 128 dated 17 December 2014, issued by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission SRC. This compliance is crucial in effectively managing and administering car loan to state and public office within Bomet Public Service. Mr. Speaker, the report was as given, and I want to request this Honorable House to support and adopt this report because the committee who were going through the auditor report did a very wonderful job as I have read, and I believe all the members have gone through the report. So I therefore humbly request Honorable Dennis Bushene to second the motion. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to second the motion that was moved by Honorable Richard. Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge this Honorable House to adopt this report and pass this report. This committee have tried since we were given this mandate. Mr. Speaker, we began this process of winding up the books of this county, which span from 2014. We have really tried, and most of the recommendation here, Mr. Speaker, would like to see that these issues have been sorted out once and for all. Mr. Speaker, the car loan cities here stated, most of the issues here are put as a qualified report. So, Mr. Speaker, I think today, unlike the other day, we had so many issues. It was about 35, but today, most of the issues here are straight, and I hope this Honorable House will adapt. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to welcome Honorable Kibet. I know he was on a journey. He went on a safari, and since he's here, I would like to applaud him for coming very fast to join us. And I'm happy that the journey that he went, I thought he would miss the plane, but Mr. Speaker is here. So welcome, Honorable Kibet. So otherwise, let me urge this Honorable House to adopt the report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the mover and the second of the motion. I now wish to propose that pursuant to Standing Order 198, subsection 2, this County Assembly resolves to adopt the County Public Investments and Accounts Committee report on the report of the Auditor General on the Bomet County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2022. And the floor is now open for debate. Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
And thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Before I support today's motion, let me thank my colleagues, honorable members, for standing with me today when I was intimidated. I want to state categorically that before here and today and henceforth, I stand with the great people of Bomet. I cannot be intimidated. It doesn't matter how many messages you can create. It doesn't matter how many cases you can frame against me, but I must stand with the great people of Bomet. Justice must be served, not partially, but inclusively, as in the Constitution. So I want to tell those people who have been today, I'm out for the cases that you frame, but now here I'm vindicated. But let me tell you, Public Service Board must go home. And not even, in fact, they are late. They must go like yesterday. So let's stand together, and I appreciate you once more. Even let me thank again Honorable Speaker for being with us as a family. So I want to urge you members, when we were in solidarity in the court cases towards this great assembly, the legislation that we are doing here, we are doing our mandate. But when people turn to courts to shelter their ambition and greed, let's stand with the great people of Bomet. And I want to tell you, when that case finishes there in Bomet law courts, Public Service Board must go like today. Thank you very much.
Do you support?
I support the motion.
Thank you. Honorable Kiprotich.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the motion moved by Honorable Richard from PSC PIC. And just because our leader in this assembly, the minority leader, has spoken, I also take this opportunity to welcome him back. And we usually say, Mr. Speaker, that intimidation is not part and parcel of our house. There is a Swahili saying, Mr. Speaker, that says, njia ya Mungu ni fupi. And we want to urge our Honorable Kibet that no weapon forged against him shall prevail. Mr. Speaker, I have read through the report of PSC PIC, and in this report, Mr. Speaker, I am very happy that at least we are finding that the opinion of the Auditor General is qualified, and in this particular qualified report, Mr. Speaker, seems that the money, the public money, was actually used prudently. Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that this Kalon and mortgage for the county executive has done well to those particular members who are supposed to be getting it, and it is going to go a long way in improving their lives and improving the lives of their families, and also improving the lives of the people who live around them. And Mr. Speaker, this qualified report is an indicator that at least there is some part that is good on us, and the Auditor General said that this particular report is qualified, save for a few that Honorable Bouchenet had touched and Honorable Richard had also touched about the registration, preferably of the motor vehicles that we have. Mr. Speaker, I know we do have a similar scheme in the County Assembly, and maybe that motion is going to come on a different date for the Kalon and mortgage also. And we want to believe that when this particular process of the Auditor General and the PAC-PIC of the County Assembly are going to reconvene again, then they are going to have the issues that were earlier labeled as unresolved being resolved. Otherwise, I support for approval.
Yes, Honorable Ernest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity that you've given me to also support this report by the Committee on PAC, PIC. Mr. Speaker, you realize that through such a report, Mr. Speaker, from the Auditor General, we are able to track the fund that goes to mortgage and Kalon, Mr. Speaker. It is also as supported by the report that the report has given a clean bill of health to the auditor's report, which also qualified the issues that was raised. Mr. Speaker, I was just looking at it, and it's like this is a very important facility for the executive members, as you also enjoy here at the County Assembly, the car loan and the mortgages, Mr. Speaker. And by this report, it is clear that the executive has been able to manage this account properly to ensure that there is continuity in terms of that privilege for the other staffs who are yet to access the privileges of car loans and mortgages. Mr. Speaker, when I say so, Mr. Speaker, before the directive by the President that they were not going to allow any more purchase of cars for civil servants or state officers, Mr. Speaker, after the finance bill that was thrown out, Mr. Speaker, we in the line, or what was queuing in the executive, Mr. Speaker, what was in the budget was the deputy governor's vehicle, which was supposed to be bought through this car loan, Mr. Speaker. But since they are able to utilize and use it properly, I want to believe that going forward, that directive will be revisited so that our deputy governor can get to have this car loan and mortgages, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, and I support. Before I end, Mr. Speaker, I also want to join hands with my colleagues in saying that we are happy to see Honorable Kibet back, and as someone has said, the truth will always set us free. And also, Mr. Speaker, going by the fact that this morning we were all in the court of law, I want to encourage the honorable members that I understand going to heaven, Mr. Speaker, the road to heaven, Mr. Speaker, is a very narrow road, Mr. Speaker. So it is only that we tried the heaven route this morning, Mr. Speaker, when we were invited to the court, or summoned to the court, Mr. Speaker, for contempt. But I want to ask my friends, my colleagues, that we stay strong, we continue doing what is right, because at the end of it all, it is your conscience that should judge you. But when your conscience is clear of what you are doing, let's continue doing what is right for the sake of the people who sent us to represent them here. And also, thank God for healing Honorable Victor, Mr. Speaker. You know, Honorable Victor has not been feeling well for some times, but we want to thank God because he is now well. Though I'm not seeing him around, but he's around, Mr. Speaker. He is now well, and we thank God. Thank you very much. I support the report.
Thank you, Honorable Ernest. Is there any other member who wish to contribute? Well, I now put a question that, pursuant to Standing Order 198, Subsection 2, this County Assembly resolves to adopt the County Public Investments and Accounts Committee report on the report of the Auditor General on the Bomet County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2022. As many as are of a similar opinion say aye.
Aye. Aye.
As many as are those of a contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. What is it, Honorable Dancel?
Mr. Speaker, I have a question. I want to seek leave to ask a question.
Okay, that's granted. Proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, my question is to the Chairperson, Committee on Administration, Legal Affairs, and Citizen Engagement. I would like to be furnished with the expenditure report for the County Legal Office for financial year 2023-2024 financial year. Further, I request to be furnished with the expenditure report for the first quarter of the financial year 2024-2025 on the same department, that is the legal office. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Dancel. I wish to commit the question that has been raised before this House by Honorable Dancel to the chairperson. Yes.
To the Committee on Administration, please.
Okay, commit on that question. The Committee on Administration, Legal Affairs and
Thank you very much, the chair who was here, Honorable Josephat. Thank you for holding up while I was away. The matter at hand is a question that has been raised by Honorable Dancel Kirui, and I'm made to understand that the Chairperson Committee on Administration, Legal Affairs and Citizen Engagement, this question stands committed to your committee.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. And the speaker of the person who has raised this question is requesting for 5 days, and therefore Wednesday next week, 25th, should be back with the report.
Okay, we shall actually deliberate on that matter on that scheduled time.
Thank you. Clerk.
Adjournment.
Honorable members, before we adjourn, I must commend all of you for showing solidarity today while we were at the courts today. However, it was virtual. I must appreciate that most of you were available and you were present. And you were very smart. For that solidarity, I thank you. And I encourage you. Also, again tomorrow, there will be another virtual meeting that is now for Nakuru courts. Then, as you heard today, the judge mentioning 25th shall be another hearing of the submissions that were given today. Therefore, let's stay. Remember, we are not discussing anything which is at the courts. That will be sub judice. So, thank you very much. I hope we'll meet tomorrow at the courts. But for now, this sitting is adjourned up to tomorrow 9:30. Is it? 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Thank you very much.